Hotels.com is where you go to choose from hundreds of thousands.
Candlelight, losing my breath, losing myself, dreams are out of sight. Stop struggling against my demons. Stop taking life as fiction. Burn, burn, burn. Burn the pain, burn the lies, burn the fear inside myself, and burn it all again. It's the right time to escape this cage. I've been locked in for so long. It's not where I belong. Let it burn, burn, burn into the ground. Ready to fight, ready to go. That's my final word. Taking chances, a gift I just can't watch. Crawling again, crushing my brain with the candlelight. I catch my breath and let it burn, 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 burn. Burn the pain, burn the lies, burn the fear inside myself, and burn it all again. It's the right time to escape this cage. I've been locked in for so long. It's not where I belong. Let it burn, burn, burn into the ground. I gotta let it burn. Burn the lies, burn the fear inside myself, and burn it all again. It's the right time to escape this cage. I've been locked in for so long. It's not where I belong. Let it burn, burn, burn into the ground.
Bang, bang, bang! Welcome in, everybody, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We are getting ready to go racing here tonight for the Dash for Cash race number 3 of the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division. Getting ready to take on the new Smyrna Beach, Florida's new Smyrna Speedway. Getting ready to tack on the 0.48 mile length asphalt, half-mile asphalt length oval. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, the drivers are down on the racetrack getting locked and loaded in their race cars. Qualifying is currently underway. We got about 2 minutes remaining in there, and we'll get you down here on the main broadcast cam. Welcome in here to the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division at the new Smyrna Speedway. Getting ready to go racing here tonight for 100 laps, where these drivers will have 0 sets of tires and 100% fuel to get all the way through. There will be 2 heat races here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel tonight that will be figured out by the qualifying order, with the fast 3 drivers advancing to the main event automatically on time. Everybody else below that 3rd place spot will head to an LCQ race, whether that's LCQ heat race number 1 or heat race number 2. However, though, all 14 drivers, will advance to the main event here tonight, where they will tackle on those 100 laps. Looks like we got about a minute or so left to go tonight before we kick off tonight's LCQ heat races. Qualifying is on our way here, the new Smyrna Speedway. You're live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Get ready to go racing here in Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, qualifying on our way here on the left side of your screen is currently the 13 drivers and where they shake out at the moment. drivers are currently being talked over right now with the race admin. There was a little mini go-kart race earlier on the infield small oval on your screen right there. Beautiful racetrack here in Florida. Tonight's LCQ heat races will be held in the afternoon, and then it will be turned on over to where the lights will come on here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of the lights and weather, we'll go ahead and do our night's weather report. 84 degrees here. It is a great day to go racing. High and sunny here at the beach with a 9-mile-per-hour wind, so the fans have a little bit of a wind gust on their shoulders here tonight. Partly cloudy though, so if you didn't bring the sunscreen, you should be okay. Getting ready to go racing here for 2 LCQ heat races, and within both of those LCQ heat races, ladies and gentlemen, the top 15 laps here tonight. So we'll go ahead and pull up those I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division results. Give it just a second to post here. Qualifying is over with, and we will have those results to you in just a second. At the moment, though, we got drivers loading up on the screen right now for LCQ heat race number 1. Here are the results here tonight. Patrick McPeak gonna be on the pole for the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's Wheeling Modified Division. The winner 2 weeks ago in that Team 9 Racing number 6. He won the winner 2 weeks ago. Excuse me. Michael Johnson was the winner 2 weeks ago. We're getting ready to go racing here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel live here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Got about 6 cars piling out. Heat race number 1. Still waiting on a couple more of those guys to join in, but we'll go ahead and get it kicked off here tonight. Starting on the pole from Landrum, South Carolina, driving the number 27 Modified. It's going to be Adam Peeler. On the outside of him, sharing the front row, driving that number 48 Modified from Crawfordsville, Indiana, Aaron Evans. Behind him will be the number 6 Me-Fied Modified from Princeton, North Carolina, of Zach Evans. Still waiting on him to fill in the grid here for the LCQ heat race. Driving the number 2, will start in the 4th place spot here tonight. From Paces, Virginia, it's going to be Trace Daniel. Want to round out the 5th place spot here tonight, driving that 22. Chris Schaffner, U2 Modified. Got to finally get that one right from High Point, North Carolina. It's going to be Chris Schaffner. Looks like that's everybody here in heat race number 1 at the moment. Still waiting on a couple more guys to tune in. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you that we are going to be set for what's going to be 10 laps of 2 different heat races here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. 15 laps, excuse me. I'm being corrected there by the race admin. As these guys continue to load up, we'll pull up the grid one more time for heat race number 1. This is going to be Adam Peeler, Aaron Evans on the front row, Zach Evans, Trace Daniel will slide out that 2nd row with Chris Schaffner, Neil Rutt III, and Cody Klauser. Going to round out that final row there. Looks like Neil Rutt III will not be in the field here tonight. Cody Klauser fails to load in there, as well as Trace Daniel. So a little 4-car action heat race getting ready to come our way. Can't say nothing bad about it. Shit's getting ready to get wicked here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. And as we are thinking about it, pulling that remaining schedule, folks, see a lot of you guys asking, where the hell can we go? Where can we race? Where's the next race? We're going to the Oswego Speedway 2 weeks from now. And we're headed to the Southern National, Concord, the Milwaukee Mile, Stafford, Langley. We'll find out that that last race at the Richmond Motor Speedway. I had to correct myself right there. That'll be our final race of the year. We will find out who will be the champion of the Dash for Cash there. The payouts will go at the checker flag of Richmond. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been your remaining schedule. We'll get you down here on the main broadcast cam where Peter the Pace Car's got 4 of these modifieds in this LCQ heat race, double filed up here. Hopefully we get enough drivers to hopefully round out the 2nd one and have a little bit better of a field. But right now, though, we got 14 laps of 4 modifieds. This is the new Smyrna Speedway. Puts on some of the best action on the iRacing platform. Peter the Pace Car will hang the left down on the pit lane. Green flag is in the air. You got yourself a virtual heat race here at New Smyrna. A little bit of an earth bar bang there from Adam Peeler on the bottom side to the outside modified of Aaron Evans. They'll work down the back straightaway down into turn number 3. Adam Peeler has the race lead from Landrum, South Carolina. The Crawfordsville, Indiana driver Aaron Evans will try to round out this 2nd place spot right now. He's under power and under attack by the number 6 of Zach Evans. Chris Schaffner's going to take this number 22 modified right out here in the back half of the field, and this 22 red and white modified in that fourth place spot. Don't be getting it twisted, folks. He was one of our hard chargers 2 weeks ago. We were on the move here, taking on race number 2. This is race number 3. This is going to pick off very, very fastly. These guys have no way in hell that they can just give up points week to week to week. 13 laps to go. Going to be 12 this time around on the LCQ heat race. Adam Peeler's in full control here in Florida. I want to remind you guys to check out the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This coming up Friday night, playoff race number 2 for the Madness Racing League Home Run Cafe Total Nonstop Action Truck Series. Right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, we'll be taking on the Chicagoland Speedway. It's going to be an action-packed racing event there. Make sure you tune in. Ladies and gentlemen, though, we're rounding out the modifieds here tonight on the new Smyrna Speedway. Aaron Evans blinks in and blinks out there. We apologize for his internet connection issues. Adam Peeler leading another lap here in heat race number 1. 10 laps to go. Aaron Evans riding around here up the front nose of the number 48 modified. You can only imagine what he's thinking inside of this modified from Crawfordville, Indiana. Makes the long trip down here to Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, we were in the garage area earlier talking to Aaron Evans. Aaron Evans told us that he would come to play around here tonight. First 2 races at the Coliseum, and then 2 weeks ago he said he felt like he was absolutely used and abused. Those were his words, not mine. Ladies and gentlemen, you can anticipate however you wanted to. The best thing about this number 48 Aaron Evans Hooters modified each and every single week is that he brings these fine-ass Hooter women to the racetrack every single week, and I just can't seem to get enough of it myself. However, though, right now he's closing up this back bumper of Adam Peeler for the race lead, and those Hooter girls can get the throwing their hands up, get the bouncing, if you know what I mean. It looks like Aaron Evans might try to make the move for that race lead here in just a couple laps. He's going to have to do it quickly. Got 7 laps remaining here in heat race number 1. Zach Evans rounds out this 3rd place position. He's got that Ryan Blaney Caterpillar mustache going on. Where does he elect to make this move down here in the turn number 3, riding out the front nose? You see the air cleaner on the number 6 of Zach Evans. Gonna have to keep that damn thing clean all night long. You knock that air cleaner off, get any kind of debris, particle, dust, rubber, anything like that inside of the motor, you're in jeopardy for a long night here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway. We're already racing down here at the beach, and sand is flying all over the racetrack. Look at Chris Schaffner making a move here on the bottom side of the racetrack. He wants the position for the 3rd place spot. Chris Schaffner trying everything he knows best in and out of this number 22 modified, working his 2nd season here, 3rd season of the WHELEN modified. Zach Evans comes back full-time here in season number 2. Aaron Evans making his debut here in the modified division for the I-85 Asphalt Series. 4 laps remain here. It's been a hell of a battle so far. Chris Schaffner gets to that outside safer barrier. Big shot to the right side. Front tire and the Nerf bar might be caved in on that number 22. 3 laps to go here. We've seen it 2 weeks ago. Michael Johnson made a hell of a move to win it in the LCQ heat race. Can one of these drivers see what they've seen 2 weeks ago? Try to put it together here. 3 laps to go here down into turn 3. What will be white flag next time around for Adam Peeler and this Nurse Aviator Peeler's Apple Ale number 27 modified out on the bottom side of the racetrack, being chased down by Aaron Evans. White flag will be in the air this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, presented to you by AFLglobal.com. Adam Peeler has the race lead. He'll have 1 more lap to try to get it done here. Aaron Evans is going to try to make that move down into turn 3. He'll get a good run off turn 2. Headed down the back straightaway, down into turn 3 and 4 for the final time here in LCQ heat race number 1. The bumper's applied to the 27, but it's not enough. Adam Peeler will win the heat race here tonight at New Smyrna. What a dominating performance right there from Adam Peeler from Landrum, South Carolina. He'll lead every single lap of that heat race and bring home the W. Aaron Evans will finish out in the 2nd place position as these drivers find their way on over. We'll pull up those results for you in just a moment. What a race right there, folks. Appreciate all 9 of you tuning out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel tonight for the for the I-85 Asphalt Series. WHELEN Modified Division Dash for Cash race number 3. Looks like we got another heat race underneath our belt for you. Got at least 4 to 5 more cars getting ready to come your way, and hopefully it's going to be an absolute banger. We'll bring up the grid on your screen. This will be the front 3 rows, starting 6 drivers. Michael Johnson, Mike Doyle will shake out that front row, followed by Josh Moore, Dakota Pignataro, Nate Hall, and then Nicholas Maynard, who will not be eligible to qualify for the field here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Though, however, we'll go ahead and get those starting grids kicked off and lined up for you here. Starting on the pole, driving that number 40, winner 2 weeks ago, right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. That's Michael Johnson. On the outside of him from Middletown, New Jersey, driving that 00 modified, two-time heat race winner here in the modified division. That's Mike Doyle. Starting in that third place position here tonight, driving that number 919 blue modified, Josh Moore. And on the outside of him, driving that number 99 from New Bern, that's Dakota Pignataro. And rounding out the final position here in heat race number 2, that'll be the number 18 Weekend Woodsman modified of Nate Hall. Same thing applies here, folks, on the Booty Scoot Racing channel to these exact same drivers. These guys are going to have to keep it together for what's going to be 15 laps for that Ash for Cash race number 3. The results are actually in the book now from the admin. We are able to post those for you from heat race number 1. What an absolute show right there. Adam Peeler brought home the win. Aaron Evans, second place. Zach Evans in the third place position, followed by Chris Schaffner in the fourth place spot. Trace Daniel took on that fifth place position. Neil Wright and Cody Klauser was not able to make these start. Dash for Cash race number 3, currently on our way here at the New Smyrna Speedway in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, And let me tell you something, folks. I'm out here burning up all week long. I've been out here in Florida. It has been an absolute hot week, but the babes are all over the racetrack and all over down the road at the Daytona International Raceway. Michael Johnson will have the chance to start the heat race here tonight. Booty Scoot Racing channels on our way here in New Smyrna. Peter the race car, Hayes the left on pit road. We're racing here in the beach. Lap number 1 is on our way, working down the back straightaway. It's going to be Michael Johnson, winner 2 weeks ago at the Lanier Speedway, taking the race lead here quick and early. He'll lead lap number 1 here, the heat race, followed by Mike Doyle, Dakota Pignataro, Josh Moore, and then Nate Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are going to have to find their way out here early. Dakota Pignataro is going to want to march his way up quickly. We've seen Dakota Pignataro win 4 now of these heat races over the 3 seasons of the WHELEN Modified Division. However, though, we're going to have to work the way up through the field big time, running out the front nose of the Modified of the number 99 of Dakota Pignataro. Can get a really good angle right there, kind of really what Dakota Pignataro sees here at the New Smyrna Speedway, riding out the front left rear cam, the front left front cam, excuse me. Dakota Pignataro got his vision blocked a little bit by that air cleaner. Really, every single one of these modified drivers do. Nate Hall, Josh Moore kind of get separated back here for the 4th and 5th place position. The number 18 and Nate Hall, talked to him in the garage earlier tonight. He told us he just wanted to make the race here tonight, just wanted to get a decent starting spot. He said he felt like New Smyrna was really going to wear out the tire to the night. If these guys pushed him really, really hard, he's going to wait for the main event to try to make his moves here, possibly on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. However, though, Dakota Pignataro is not going to spare anybody an inch here. He's closing all over the back bumper of the Michael Johnson number 40 modified, down into turn 1 and 2. It's a little bit loose right there. You see him bobble up the racetrack, that 00. Mike Doyle trying everything he knows best to run down the modified in front of him on Michael Johnson. Mike Doyle looking for that first win here in the I-85 Asphalt Series, WHELEN Modified Division, and in the late models. It's something that's not a heat race. Trying everything he knows. Illy closes up big time right there through turn 2, heading off turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Mike Doyle trying everything he knows possible. Meanwhile, this leaves guys like Dakota Pignataro sitting back here in what's going to be the 3rd place position, just looking out the front windshield, asking yourself questions, and those questions will be, he's got a suit and tie on. Look at this guy. Dakota Pignataro, straight from the office back into the work office inside of the race car. Didn't even get a chance to change it to his driver's suit. Dakota Pignataro must be burning up inside of that race car. Michael Johnson's been in full control this time around. He'll lead his 7th lap if he can hold on to it. Mike Doyle will change his lineup just a tad bit through turn 3 and 4 and work pretty good. He got a good exit right there, but Mike Johnson with just a little bit better. Mike Doyle, though, closes up the gap big time through turns 1 and 2. So it looks like Michael Johnson may be struggling through turns 1 and 2 compared to where he's really stronger than Mike Doyle through 3 and 4. That time Mike Doyle fights back big time, though. He'll roll to the back bumper of the number 40. But Michael Johnson just not enough to get there. Dakota Pignataro looks back in the distance looking for one of these guys to make a mistake, and he'll strike at any point necessary, like Randy Orton, the Viper. Dakota Pignataro, that may be his new nickname, the Viper, the way that Dakota Pignataro just strikes out of nowhere. Can this number 99 crew, get this modified dialed in here with 4 laps remaining in the night's LCQ heat race number 2? That only means, ladies and gentlemen, you're 4 laps away from seeing the main event here tonight, which is going to be 100 laps scheduled around the new Smyrna Speedway. We're going to have all 14 of these modifieds piled up into one race. It's going to be one hell of a show. 3 laps to go here, and then for cash LCQ heat race number 3. I mean, heat race number 2, excuse me. Not entirely sure how this one's going to play out. 2 laps to go. White flag will be in the air next time around. Michael Johnson running for his life here from Michael Doyle, who's all over the back bumper of him, but Dakota Pignataro has really closed that gap up as well. He's actually came into the frame of our camera angle. White flag will be in the air this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, presented to you by AFLglobal.com. Mike Doyle will have one more shot at that back bumper. He'll change his lineup through turns 1 and 2, looking to get the gas down early. Can he get the run to the back bumper of the number 40? Diving down into turn 3 for the final time here tonight. Michael Johnson's going to hold on to it here tonight. He'll win another heat race and pick up his 3rd different win here in Season 3. That is now 2 LCQ heat race wins and a regular season win for Michael Johnson. He continues his dominating performance here on the I-85 Asphalt Series WHELEN Modified Division. Mike Doyle will take home the 2nd place position, followed by Dakota Pignataro. Josh Moore will bring home the 4th place spot, and the 5th place spot belongs to Nate Hall. What do you say, folks? Getting ready to go racing here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. These drivers will have a couple minutes here to dial in these race cards, get it up and going. Hopefully, these drivers know exactly what they needed after running out their proper LCQ heat race. Ladies and gentlemen, we're waiting on those 2nd heat race results to post. We'll get those up too. Here they are, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Johnson, Mike Doyle, Dakota Pignataro, Josh Moore, Nate Hall is how they rounded out LCQ heat race number 2. And as we always like to do here, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud service members here, and we salute our troops on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We ask you guys to rise and stand as you're able for tonight's implication of the national anthem.
Your job to
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for standing for tonight's invocation. We are getting ready to go racing here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Practice is live on our way here for the warm-up session for the Dash for Cash race number 3. We got a couple more moments here. And as we are thinking about it, we will go ahead and bring up a couple of our, sponsorships, as I would like to call them, on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'd like to give a huge shout-out to CK Parking Lot Maintenance in Lincoln, Nebraska. Coming on board, they will sponsor the Madness Racing League Xfinity, O'Reilly Series, I shall now say. next season for season 4. Signups are currently on our way. Right now, you can DM the Booty Scoot Racing channel and or one of the people in the Discord or whatever the case may be. We can get you hooked up nice and neatly. Drop a comment if you are interested in joining. $5 entry fee. The purse is already up somewhere between $275 to $300. So get a chance out here to get yourself paid. It's that time of year, folks. My favorite time of year. CloseoutBats.com in Westwood, New Jersey. Save on brand new bats, deals, and demos. Call them today, 201-664-4916. Or visit them at www.closeoutbats.com, where you can shop over 50,000 baseball and softball bats and gloves. And you can't get a baseball bat without hitting a home run. Check out the Home Run Cafe at 4 Mill Street in Inman, South Carolina, 864-561-6955. Ladies and gentlemen, they are open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, go out there today, get yourself a refresher. Tell them that the Booty Scoot Racing channel sent you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have your keys of the race here in just a moment. Warm-up session has about 25 seconds remaining into it. These guys will get a huge talking to from the race admin. A couple of rule changes coming in. We also want to have a breaking news out of the garage area. Cody Klauser from Baltic, Connecticut, driving that number 82 modified, supposed to make the start there in the LCQ heat race. He will take last place points here tonight after having a steering box column break on him, and he will not be able to participate here tonight. So what an unfortunate call right there for Cody Klauser. He won't be able to participate here tonight, so will be one less modified down after battling some technical difficulties there with his steering box. So the session should change over here to the nighttime, and the lights should come on top of the new Smyrna Speedway. Look at that beautiful sky, folks. And I'm no bitch, I'm no lady, but I know something beautiful when I see it. The lights will come on here. The drivers will fully eliminate themselves into the race car, strapped, locked, and loaded. Things are getting ready to get down and dirty. Ooh, if you know what I mean. We'll pull up tonight's starting grid. This will be the starting 12 drivers tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, minus Cody Klauser, as he will not be able to make the field here tonight. Patrick McPeak, Ace Throckmorton, Dylan Thomas, Adam Peeler, Michael Johnson, Aaron Evans, Mike Doyle, Zach Evans, Dakota Pignataro. Chris Schaffner will be your front 10, with Josh Moore and Trace Daniel being the 11th and 12th place position. Better yet, we'll get you down here, let you meet your favorite drivers. Driving the number 61 on the pole here tonight, trying to get a win here in the modified division from Mountain Area, North Carolina. That's Patrick McPeak. On the outside of him, driving the number 72 modified from South Boston, Virginia. That's the 72 of Ace Throckmorton. Starting in the second row, third place spot from Denison, Texas. He's been bad fast so far here the first 2 races. That's the 03 of Dylan Thomas. On the outside of him, driving the number 27 modified from Landrum, South Carolina. That's the Nurse Aviator of Adam Peeler. Behind him will be the number 48 Hooters modified from Crawfordville, Indiana, of Aaron Evans. On the inside of him, will be the driver of the number 6 Meat 5 modified from Princeton, North Carolina, of Zach Evans. On the inside of him will be the winner 2 weeks ago at the Lanier Speedway, driver the number 40 modified of Michael Johnson. Rounding out the 9th place position here tonight from High Point, North Carolina, driver the number 22 modified Chris Schaffner. On the inside of him from Middletown, New Jersey, driver the 00 modified Mike Doyle. Shaking out that number 2 modified from Passes, Virginia. Finally got the modified up and running. He'll finally make his first lap of the night. That's Trace Daniel. Driving that number 99 modified on the inside from New Bern. That's Dakota Pignataro. And driving the number 919 Baby Blue modified here tonight. That's Josh Moore. And checking out the final place here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, driving the number 18. That's going to be Nate Hall. Patrick McPeak will lead them to the green flag here. We have just a quick moment to bring you up your keys of the race before we switch over here to the green flag. It's going to be one hell of a show here tonight. Keep your wheels clean and keep you're cool. It's going to be the main two keys here tonight. Finally, you're going to want to try to save those Hoosiers. If you don't have no rubber to race with, it's going to be one long race. Finally, you want to maximize those points, especially if you had a shitty first two races here in the Dash for Cash. You're not completely out of it. You still have a chance at it, ladies and gentlemen. Patrick McPeak, Ace Throckmorton on the front row here, the new Smyrna Speedway. Green flag is getting ready to fly in the air the next time around. Peter, the base car, will hang in the left. The lights are off. The flag is standing vertically in the air. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 13 modifieds. Get ready to bring you some of the best racing on the iRacing platform, America's home for internet virtual racing. Go check out iRacing.com, where $10 a month can get you right out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Green flag is going in the air here. We're at the beach. The babes are here. The boobs are out. The beer is flying. Grab another beer. Light another cigarette. Green flag is getting ready to go in the air here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway. The lights are on. The drivers are strapped in. Green flag's in the air here for race number 3. Working off the exit of number 2, Patrick McPeak has the race lead early, side by side. For number 2, contacts made. Dylan Thomas able to hold on to the modified. More clusterfuck down the front straightaway. 4 wide across the front straightaway on lap number 1. Kudos to every single one of the 13 drivers in the field right there for keeping it clean and saving those modifieds. Absolutely some damage done to some of these Nerf bars, but everybody still has a piece to race with here early. Somebody blows the corner big time. That's Trace Daniel, that number 2. If not, he's made his own line early, knowing that this ACR Racing modified number 2 hasn't turned a lap all night here tonight, missing the LCQ heat race. The number 2 of Trace Daniel got to work early. Trace Daniel can through turns 1 and 2, goes really high, looking down on the number 48 of Aaron Evans, trying to make something work. He'll go to the front half of the field. Aaron Evans from Crawfordville, Indiana, will work right behind Dakota Pignataro in this number 99 machine. He became bring up tonight's first battle box here on the Booty Racing channel. Been trying to fix some of these overlays for you. This will be the battle for the 4th place position. You guys tell me if you have any trouble seeing anything. You guys let me know. We're here for you. We're knocking out lap number 6 here already in the WHELEN Modified Division. Watching this battle for the 4th place position between Adam Peeler, Dakota Pignataro, Dylan Thomas. Shake out here. Aaron Evans has entered the chat as well. No Kai Sinet, no pun intended. Really high on the top side of the racetrack. Who is that? That's Adam Peeler. He's going backwards here, folks. Holy cow, what is going on with Earth's Aviator 27 Modified of Adam Peeler? Won the LCQ heat race, started in the 4th place spot. He's already went back 4 positions in this number 27 modified. The Nurse Aviator's got to find something here. Get in line on the bottom side of the racetrack, riding on board with Adam Peeler. See Adam Peeler's visor there, really glossy, really dirty. His driver, how does this driver manage? How do these drivers begin to even manage something like that? Your hands are always full. You're always turning left, trying to counter turn and go back to the right whenever you miss corners and maybe go a little bit too hard. Looking down at the number 40 of Michael Johnson of this number 40 modified. Won the race 2 weeks ago at the Lanier Speedway. Made one hell of a move in that LCQ heat race. I mean, the fans stood up on their feet and didn't sit down. We heard Michael Johnson sold out of T-shirts here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway, so he's got a couple of new fans on the channel. However, though, Adam Peeler going backwards here. He's now jumped back to about the 11th or 12th place position. I'd imagine Adam Peeler, after my experience seeing him race in Season 2, probably going to the back of the field here, 100 lapper, knowing that you got to keep the modified tires on it. How many of these guys are going to push as hard as possible and burn up their Hoosier rubbers and not have a chance at the victory here tonight? However, though, it's been Patrick McPeak leading every lap up to this point, trying everything he knows best inside of this number 61 from Mount Airy, North Carolina. The Mount Airy, North Carolina driver picked up the win 2 weeks ago in the late model stock division. That was one hell of a race, one hell of a move for Patrick McPeak. He was able to move, one of the ACR Racing drivers in the late model stock division on the final lap going into turn number 4. Got him up right up off the bottom. Patrick McPeak got his first I-85 Asphalt Series win 2 weeks ago. You can check that out on the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen. Everything will be absolutely posted there for you right after tonight's conclusion of tonight's event, and the checker flag flies. You can head over there and find the full race posted there. However, though, you see how everybody really works off on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, completing lap number 14, getting ready to be 15 this time around, led by Patrick McPeak. I think it's only right to get you down on the racetrack for tonight's first I-85 Asphalt Series, Fast and Loud. Live at the new Smyrna Speedway, cranking it up underneath the Fast and Loud. We got ourselves a little battle right here, a little five-way traffic jam down into turn 3 and 4 here at the new Smyrna Speedway, working lap number 25. We are now officially a quarter of the way through tonight's race this next time around. Aaron Evans trying to work around the back bumper of Dakota Pignataro. Dakota Pignataro, notorious for being one of the harder drivers to pass here in the lead. Trace Daniel will battle Nerf Bar, the Nerf Bar here with Michael Johnson. This will be the battle for that 7th place position. See if we can't get you guys another battle box up on the cam right now. See if we can't make it just a few more drivers so it's not as big before we battle for 5th place heading on right here on your screen. Michael Johnson trying everything he knows best in this number 40 modified to get it up and move in here down the back straightaway. You see the closing rate there. It puts the bumper there to the number 48 twice. Puts him right up to the back bumper of the number 99. These guys getting physical out here. You really got to know you got to get up and move in here. If there isn't a caution flag in tonight's race, you got to go 100 laps on those Hoosier tires. So that means you need to set yourself out for track position. You need to set yourself up for early passes. Get the heat in the tires quickly. Make your way up through the field, and if you're not going to be able to charge up there like you think, you just don't have the car. As Chris Schaffner now enters our side of our battle box. This number 22's got something to say. So does Aaron Evans. He's pulling it up here, but there goes Chris Schaffner just as quickly off our screen. As he hits the outside take prepare, Aaron Evans will finally put the bumper to the back of the number 99, move him up the racetrack. Look at this battle going on here in New Smyrna. Dakota Pignataro will get right back around the number 48 of Aaron Evans there. That'll bring in another one of these drivers. That is, the number 40 of Michael Johnson, who will just caddy fake his way right around the number 48 Hooters machine of Aaron Evans. And he pulled himself right back here into the, what's going to be 6th place position. Dakota Pignataro will roll his way up there to the top 5. You see the marbles starting to get collected on the top side of the racetrack. 30 laps already being completed here. It looks like that battle for the 4th place spot is really decimated. We'll get ready to get that battle box off of your screen. Patrick McPeak going away with it right now. Following down on the bottom side of the racetrack. The Mountain Area, North Carolina driver picking up where he left off 2 weeks ago, trying to get another top 5 finish here tonight. If he can do just like that, hopefully Patrick McPeak can keep it together. He's got that back bumper squared away by Ace Throckmorton. 32 laps led here tonight from the North Carolina driver. And right behind him is Ace Throckmorton from South Boston, Virginia. Both of these drivers got some true speed inside of their cars. This is the battle for the race lead. Ace Throckmorton, the two-time Maxxis national champion. He'll try and excuse me, that's Lane Woods. I got the wrong person there. Ace Throckmorton, totally different for the Throckmorton Motorsports. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack, lap traffic's coming into effect here. That's Nate Hall, this number 18 modified. He'll move right to the top side of the racetrack. Some beautiful racing there from the Weekend Woodsman, number 18 modified of Nate Hall. Want to make sure we give him his recognition there. He'll move right out of the way, seeing the battle for the race lead here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway. It's anybody's ball game. We're not even halfway through. These guys continue to work it around the new Smyrna Speedway here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll throw up tonight's battle box so you know exactly what's happening on your screen. We'll take one quick commercial break. We'll put it side by side. You guys won't miss a thing right here tonight. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We are watching the battle for the race lead here, the new Smyrna Speedway Dash for Cash. Race number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Patrick McPeak has that race lead over Ace Throckmorton, but Throckmorton can really close it up whenever he wants to. The number 72 looks like he may be playing with his food here on the bottom side of the racetrack, but Throckmorton just gets a little bit tight from 3 and 4 here, and he gets down on the bottom side of the racetrack. That's 2 laps in a row now that I've seen that 72 modified clip that paint there. Gets him a little bit looser than probably he wants to. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Ace Throckmorton has rolled himself to that back bumper of that number 61 of Patrick McPeak. We may have a battle for the race lead here. And that Nelson Roofing modified, it's got to get it up and moving off of the bottom side of the racetrack. Throckmorton trying everything he knows possible to run him down. Caution flag is in the air here on the new Smyrna Speedway. Not entirely sure what it was up here. Looks like Aaron Evans is going to be the call of the caution here on the Racing channel. We will have to back that ass up and take a look and see what happened to Aaron Evans on the Racing channel. Bringing up the instant replay. Can't have to bring it back one more time. Aaron Evans involved in the accident. Maybe it looks like he got in there to the left rear. Dakota Pignataro drives right up over him like a damn monster truck. Holy shit. Aaron Evans involved in the accident here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll see if we can't back that ass up one more time for another replay and take a look. This should be a better angle. Looks like Aaron Evans just gets all over and tangled with number 99 there in turns 1 and 2. And both of them go back. We'll ride out the tail end of Dakota Pignataro. Not really entirely sure what he was expecting going into the corner there, but he definitely could not have been expecting somebody running him over the ass end. We'll back it up one more time. Take a look. excuse me, that was out the front nose of Aaron Evans. I'm not entirely sure exactly what he was thinking as well. We're right on board out the front nose of him down into turn 1 and 2. Just a nasty little vicious ride here. Our first caution flag of the night, so no itsy bitsy spider climb up this valley and fell out. Dakota Pignataro looks like he'll be A-okay. Aaron Evans will have to go to the tail end of the field there. He'll get the EOL penalty for causing the accident here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We should get the one to go racing this next time around. We have backed that ass up officially for the instant replay. We're back in action though here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The lights should go off on top of the base car this time around. If you're looking and loving what you're seeing, make sure you tune in 2 weeks from now here. We pull up the remaining schedule for the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheelen Modified Division. Headed to the Oswego Speedway in New York 2 weeks from now. This is a Southern National Raceway, followed by Concord, Milwaukee, Stafford, Langley, and then Richmond will be our remaining schedule here on Pale Mountain after Richmond. These guys are racing for somewhere between about $170 to $200 inside of the modified division with 14 registered drivers here. Green flag getting ready to fly back in the air here at the new Smyrna Speedway. We're back racing here at the new Smyrna Beach Speedway. Fifth floor. Back up and underneath the green flag here. Restart officially has run our way here. We are at the halfway point of the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheelen Modified Division. Got one turn down the back straightaway. That's Adam Peeler hard in the inside safer barrier. What a save right there, though, from Adam Peeler. He was able to hold on to that modified. The number 27, not entirely sure what happened to him. We'll back that ass up here for the instant replay, riding with Adam Peeler. Just gets tagged in that right rear, or that right front, excuse me. He sends him down on the bottom side of the racetrack. And a great caution flag there from the admin. We'll back that ass up one more time. This should get us a better look. And it's my apology, folks, if I would ever change the camera, we would have a better angle. And we're back at it one more time, riding with Adam Peeler. Contact there, don't look like any kind of malicious intent from Trace Daniel on that ACR Racing Modified. Looks like Adam Peeler just splurges up the racetrack just a tad bit, a little bit too much. Gets clipped there, but way to hold on to that race car. It didn't look like much damage was there. Adam Peeler will take it down on the pit lane where his crew will hop over the wall, and they will absolutely destroy it with duct tape. They're going to try to unbend that Nerf bar, try to get it up and move in here. Everybody else follows behind Peter the pace car underneath the caution flag here at the new Smyrna Speedway. You're riding behind Peter the pace car. We'll take one quick commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, double filed up, getting ready to go back racing here for Dash for Cash race number 3. Caution flag briefly there for a quick cleanup of the number 27 of Adam Peeler. He'll go to the tail end of the field here, and that black and red modified. Going to be a absolute banger here to close out tonight's race at the new Smyrna Speedway. You ever heard the saying, push comes to shove? We're getting ready to meet both of them. Green flag back in the air here across the front straightaway. Mike Doyle bows to the outside of that 00 machine, trying to get around the number 40 of Michael Johnson. These two guys have not gotten rid of each other all night long, but Throckmorton's all over the back bumper for the race lead over Patrick McPeak. Caution flag is out here again, folks. Two spun around on the front straightaway. Dakota Pignataro and Aaron Edmonds welcome each other again to their front bumpers. We'll back that ass up one more time here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll take a look and see exactly what happened here? Oh, the yellow flag flies almost immediately. Aaron Evans works on the inside, and Dakota Pickett slides up on the outside there, comes to the left rear, and goes around. That is now 2 wrecks to the back bumper. Dakota Pignataro from Aaron Evans. Back it up one more time, see if we can't get a better look here. This should give us exactly what we're looking for. Yeah, just a shot there to that left rear from the number 48 of Aaron Evans. We'll back it up one more time in slow motion and take a look and see what happened. Exactly, not entirely sure if Aaron Evans thought he was maybe clear all the way, or he just didn't see the number 99 take that outside there, but it looks like he just drifts up the racetrack, clips the tire there, tire to tire, never ends really good there. Pow, hard shots on the inside, safer barrier for both of these drivers. Patrick McPeak will have the race lead with Ace Throckmorton, Dylan Thomas, Mike Doyle, Mike Johnson rounding out the top 5 drivers, top 3 drivers, I shall say, here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go, folks. We have had a absolute green flag run, and I agree with Tabitha in the chat. Here come the caution flags. Cautions breed cautions is the name of the game. Not literally, hopefully not, ladies and gentlemen. Just got a couple things just took place here, just went wrong. A couple of these guys will be taken care of here. Looks like Aaron Evans has been put down on the pit lane. He'll serve a black flag here. That is 2 consecutive caution flags to the same driver, Dakota Pignataro, involved in the accident. However, though, even though it wasn't his fault, he still will receive the EOL. He was involved in the accident compared to where nobody else maybe would have been, and Dakota get his spot back. Seems very, very unfair. So Dakota Pignataro does take the EOL here. He'll go to the back half of the field. Is the best way to make things fair. Been an awesome race here so far. If you love what you're seeing, slap that like button, press that follow button. We still got about 30, maybe 45 laps to go. Go grab another beer, light another cigarette, roll another one, whatever the hell you guys continue to do these days. It's none of my business. All I know is that we got 14 of the best modifieds. Well, had 14 of the best modified up to this point. Shake it out. We've had 3 cautions for 12 laps. Patrick McPeak will be the race leader with exactly 39 laps remaining here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway. Green flag back in the air here at the beach. Side by side, Mike Doyle goes there with Trace Daniel, the number 2 modified, who forged his way up through the field quite decently here tonight. This number 2 ACR modified from Paces, Virginia, couldn't get it started. They had an electrical wire problem inside of the dash, and then when he got in the car, actually able to get power and start it up. When he went to go sit down and strap in, one of the harnesses was not all the way fastened and bolted, so he had to disqualify himself there from the LCQ. Race Trace Daniel is up 5 spots from where he started. He'll be tonight's hard charger if he can keep it up and moving. Definitely needing those points added to his total score. Trying to get down there on the bottom side of the racetrack, scraping up all the marbles possible. This might not be the best thing for this number 2 modified. Nate Hall in 4th place spot back here, just trying to get every spot possible here as it comes to him. The Weekend Woodsman modified will work down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Nate Hall got out of the way earlier for the race leader. He was able to get the lucky dog, and he is back now on the lead lap. Mike Doyle, Mike Johnson have settled their battle. Mike Doyle will fall back here to the 5th place position, a top 5. If he can get it done here tonight, but you best believe he's going to try to get around this Pacematic number 40. Modified on Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, the winner 2 weeks ago, the Lanier Speedway. Definitely knows how to drive these modifieds here tonight, though, but looks like nobody's had touch for number 61 of Patrick McPeak in this number 61 modified from Mount Airy, North Carolina. He's led every single lap here tonight from the pole, trying everything possible to bring home the victory here tonight for Team 9 Racing. However, though, if he's going to bring home the victory, he's got to keep it together. He's still got about 30 laps to go. And these Hoosier rubbers burn quickly when you push, 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 push. You see Trace Daniel's brake rotor starting to glow inside of that modified when he gets down on the brake. Holy cow, folks, but it's all 4 brake rotors for Trace Daniel that are beginning to close. That indicates to me that he's got the brake bias pretty even throughout the car. Whoa, big time loose in a bubble there from Trace Daniel in the number 2 machine. We better get off up before we give him the announcer team. A couple of you folks asked over in the chat how many tires, sets, how many, or whatever the case may be. There it is, 100 laps in tonight for 0 cents a tire, 100% of fuel at the new Smyrna Speedway, track length of about 0.49 miles. However, though, it's been one hell of a battle up to this point. We've only had 3 cautions, 2 of them for big-time incident, and the other one was just for a little bitty spin out from Adam Peeler, the number 27. Nurse Aviator Modified worked his way back up here to the 10th place position from Lansing, South Carolina. Call it bias. I just happen to be from Carolina myself, so Adam Peeler, a little fan favorite of mine, ripping the hometown state. However, though, look at this number 03 of Dylan Thomas, Denison, Texas. Dylan Thomas, 4 weeks ago, when we kicked off the Dash for Cash at the WHELEN Modified Division season opener, whatever you want to call it, at the LA Coliseum. Dylan Thomas led over 103 laps at the Coliseum, didn't get the checker flag. So an absolute disappointment there in California. He's trying to get his way back up to the front. He's been decent all year long. He's been decent here tonight. He's got a pretty fast modified, I'd have to say. However, though, 27 laps remain here tonight in Dash for Cash race number 3. And it looks like Dylan Thomas is trying to just work around that nose bar, the number 40. Can he get himself clear down into turn 1? Dylan Thomas moves up another spot there. He's back in the 3rd place position where he started tonight's event at. Trace Daniel still owns that hard charger award and that number 2 ACR Racing Modified. They'll all work across the front straightaway. Spread out pretty decently earlier when we had that long, about 40-something lap green flag run that we had. The Dash for Cash race number 3 is back in action 2 weeks from now. I want to remind you at the Oswego Speedway, that will be the first time the Booty 2 Racing channel has ever taken a trip to the Oswego Speedway. We're scheduled several times, but we rescheduled it for a different track. So we will head to New York, and let me tell you something. I've heard about the damn rats in New York. Them things are bigger than these Hoosier tires. If I see any kind of rat up in the booth when I get there 2 weeks from now, it's going to be hell to pay. Big contact made right there from Michael Johnson. Let me get it off of your screen and back down here to this crazy-ass action going on the racetrack. Battle for the 2nd place spot. Well, excuse me, the 3rd place spot, I should add, because nobody's giving it in here. Mike Doyle has that 3rd place spot. You see him right out that 00 screen with Michael Johnson all over the back bumper, trying to make something shake off the exit of turn 3 in 4. The battle's been here tonight, but the caution flag is out. Caution flag is out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like it's going to be for that number 22 of Chris Schaffner, driving the Schaffner YouTube number 22 modified here. We'll back that ass up on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the instant replay. Take a look and see what happens. Chris Schaffner on the outside. They're battling wheel to wheel with Dakota Pignataro. I'm not sure entirely what just happened right there. Dakota Pignataro get moved up the racetrack. And Schaffner keep that left right rear. We'll take a look, back it up one more time. Get a better angle off the exit of turn 2. Looks like Schaffner maybe just got a little bit loose trying to stay out that outside safer barrier. Hit him big time. We have a drone cam, but not entirely sure if that will show us exactly what we're looking for. We'll bring it up here in this next replay. Well, to dissect this wreck right here, we're definitely going to have to bring out that drone cam to show us exactly what we were looking for. Schaffner just gets a little bit loose off the exit of turn 2, gets a little bit down further than he probably anticipated, and grabs that right rear. Dakota Pignataro ships him right around. Right out the front nose of what's going to be Chris Schaffner one more time here before we flip it back to the main broadcast cam. Just trying to elevate, exactly what's going on inside of that modified, exactly what place, time, and effort it took to get out of the way. That desperately didn't get done. However, though, we'll back it up one more time as we continue to show you bad camera angles, and we apologize. I don't know, maybe Dakota Pignataro got a little bit tight up the racetrack there. Squeeze Schaffner into the fence. I'm not going to be the one to make that call. We got a race control for that one. However, though, both of these guys involved in the accident, they'll go to the tail end of the field. Schaffner in Dakota Pignataro both. Aaron Evans in number 48 Hooters Modified from Crawfordville, Indiana, will take the lucky dog that last time around. Woo, 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 woo. Bark, 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 bark for Aaron Evans. He'll be back on the lead lap here for the drop of the green flag on the restart. Patty McPeak on the inside front row. Back to the restart zone. We're back racing here at the new Smyrna Beach Speedway. He's been absolutely dominating tonight's performance, leading every lap up to this point. Mike Doyle on the inside of Michael Johnson, trying to get that spot back for the third place position. Mike Doyle. If he's fought anybody here tonight, it's been that number 40, the rub a little bit more, trading paint through turns 3 and 4. Down into turns 1 and 2. Johnson will get the position over Mike Doyle. Here comes that Edison, Texas driver, the 03 of Dylan Thomas. He's trying everything possible to get down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Working on the outside now, here comes Adam Peeler. After dropping backward earlier, trying to save a little bit of Hoosier rubber. 15 laps to go here in New Smyrna. Does the nurse aviator have enough safe, or has the caution flag? Throw up his strategy here late. Trace Daniel gets back down into the marbles there in turns 1 and 2 from Paces, Virginia. He's had a strong run here tonight, but he's lost some more position. He's now 4 spots better from where he started, and he's in jeopardy of having somebody else gain positions and take that position and those extra bonus points from him. Mike Doyle can get back around Michael Johnson here. He'll have a shot at the Hard Charger Award. Michael Johnson now going to look to the inside and try to get around the number 72 with Throckmorton. Puts the bumper to him, moves him right up out of the groove through turns 3 and 4. What a move from the number 40 of Michael Johnson. Just Throckmorton repaying the favor down here in turns 3 and 4. You better bet your man down Baller Man if he can get to that back bumper. The 72 of Ace Throckmorton's going to have something to say about it. 11 laps to go this next time around. Patrick McPeak leads him here around the New Smyrna Speedway down the back straightaway. Michael Johnson trails in the distance. Throckmorton, nerf bar there with Mike Doyle off the exit of turns 3 and 4. Nobody going to give an inch here in the closing laps of tonight's event. However, though, here comes the rest of the pack. Adam Peeler, and then Innocent Texas driver Dylan Thomas, working everything possible to try to hold on to this 5th place position. Doyle gets held up right there by the number 72 of Throckmorton. How does he repay the favor in the 1 and 2? Mike Doyle will change his lineup here at the New Smyrna Speedway. Hits the outside wall. Mike Doyle trades paint with the safer barrier. Here comes Zach Evans on the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll try to capitalize on the mistake made in front of him. More paint traded there through 1. Peeler goes at the racetrack. Throwing the marble. All in my face. Holy shit. The 27 of Adam Peeler gets contact made right there. Sends up the racetrack. Adam Peeler getting tossed around like a yo-yo here late in the closing lap. Josh Moore trying to hold on to it back up the racetrack, but he's able to hold on to it. Almost a disaster here in the closing lap. Really starting to see the effect of the Hoosier rubbers starting to wear down. Michael Johnson looking for back-to-back wins here in the Modified Division for the I-85 Asphalt Series. Sitting well in the point standings, but so is Patrick McPeak. McPeak has led every lap here tonight and set on the pole. He does not want this one to get away from him. Down into turn 1 and 2. Michael Johnson will look to try to put the bumper somewhere here in the closing laps of the back bumper of Patrick McPeak, but it must be clean. Can he get it done? 4 laps to go this time around on the Racing Channel. Johnson will size up the number 61's back bumper down the back straightaway into turn 3. He'll look to make the move down into 3 and 4 this time around with only 4 laps to go. McPeak will roll the outside of him, side by side heading across the line, but it's McPeak with the run off of turn 4. How does Patrick McPeak use what he just learned from that previous lap this time around? Michael Johnson will put the bumper to the back of him, try to make him go in there a little faster than he wants to. But McPeak gets on the brake, blocks the bumper from the number 40. 2 laps to go here in New Smyrna. Michael Johnson, 2 laps in a row, is trying to put the bumper to McPeak, he did it a clean way the first time, the bumper the second time. This time he'll try to change his lineup, get the high arc off 3. White flag is in the air, presented by AFLglobal.com. Down into turns 1 and 2 for the final time here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Patrick McPeak has led every lap here tonight. He needs one more corner through 3 and 4. Michael Johnson won't have enough. It's going to be Patrick McPeak here tonight in New Smyrna. What a race, what a finish there. Patrick McPeak from the pole. Mount Airy, North Carolina, stand up. He has won his first modified race here of the season, and that's without taking the bumper there from Michael Johnson. Clean race in there. Patrick McPeak holds on to the victory here in New Smyrna. Michael Johnson's going to be upset with that one. He'll bring home the second place position. Ladies and gentlemen, though, the North Carolina driver picks up a win here. The number 61 modified, the Nelson Roofing team will go crazy. Team 9 Racing goes to victory lane here in Florida. We'll pull up the final results here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Patrick McPeak, Michael Johnson, Zach Evans, Dylan Thomas, Ace Throckmorton, will round out your top 5 finishing order here tonight. Patrick McPeak will bring it around on the front straightaway here, and he will burn it down for you race fans here. Mount Airy, North Carolina, stand up. Team 9 Racing back in victory lane here on the I-85 Asphalt Series, this time in the modified division. Patrick McPeak wins it here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel at the New Smyrna Speedway. The chat is getting hyped. Tabitha going crazy, and so is Leslie McPeak, the wife of Patrick McPeak. She'll come out here in the victory lane and be with Patrick McPeak as he celebrates his victory here tonight. We'll be back in just a moment with the post-race show and all of the driver interviews. You'll be able to hear from the race winner, Patrick, here in just a moment. We'll be back in just a second.
I just feel the pressure of the thing that I have in mind. I wanted peace, I wanted to be fine. I wonder why I cannot just sit for a while. I really want to see what it looks like. To have a moment I know that would be mine. When the wave is out close, like a picture of the tide. When the future is the home you're looking for. Save me from everything. Tell me where to find my way. I'm just looking for something I can make it another day. 'Cause I'm done fading away. 'Cause I'm done. This is what I do. I just keep running. Always working fast and hard. Never thinking about now. Believing I'm happy thanks to all the things that I have to try. I wanted peace, I wanted to be fine. I wonder why I cannot just sit for a while. I really want to see what it looks like. To have a moment I know that would be mine.
Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here from Victory Lane at the New Smyrna Speedway for the post-race show, live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the I-85 Asphalt Series. Dash for Cash, race number 3 for the WHELEN Modified Division. We bring in our co-commentator and Neil Rutt. Neil, what an absolute banger here tonight at the beach. What an absolute thriller finish between Patrick McPeak and Michael Johnson.
That was fantastic racing. We didn't get as much cars as we wanted, obviously, but for 13 cars taking the grid, from first to like 9th was just awesome battling throughout the field. Side by side, fighting for the lead there towards the end. Clean racing. The top 5 was banging and beating off of each other, going for the top 5. Like, what more can you ask for? That was amazing.
Some action-packed, awesome racing here tonight at the New Smyrna Speedway. 3 races in a row we've been treated to an absolute banger in either the heat races and or the feature. Now I say we go ahead and get our race winner, Patrick McPeak, in the booth here as he climbs out of his race car here in Victory Lane at the new Smyrna Speedway. It's the Mountain Area, North Carolina driver and the winner here tonight at the beach of Patrick McPeak. Patrick, what's going on, big guy?
Not much, man. Not much. Just sitting here sweating bullets.
What a race. What a finish. What a move there from Michael Johnson to try to move you up off the groove. Had to kind of block him with a traffic jam there. Walk us through the finish there. Sitting on the pole here tonight, leading every single lap and going to Victory Lane. We've seen your wife, Leslie, in the chat, chatting it up. Absolutely thrilled for your win here. Just kind of walk us through how you're feeling.
First off, that is not my wife. That's my mother.
Oops.
Way to go, Nick.
Oops.
Way
We're
to go.
sorry, Leslie.
Golly. Now I'm never going to hear the end.
Hey,
I'm never
look,
going to hear the end.
mommy's
Now,
boy, and you're in
excuse my
Victory
language,
Lane.
I'm never going to hear the end of that shit. No, but yeah, we had a really badass race car during practice, but saw we were sitting in third place during practice, and I was sitting there thinking, yeah, we're going to have a short run car, and we just got to try and keep ourselves in the P5 position and try and stay in front of Michael Johnson, because me and him's got a 3-point battle for the lead. And but I was sitting there just watching everybody falling back just a little bit, and I just kept on saving tire. And when I had that big run, and I'm just sitting there going, you know what? We're just going to run it easy and all the way until the end. When it gets to 20 to go, we're going balls to the wall. And it actually worked in our favor. And yeah, so this Grizzly Steel Structures 61, it was a badass car. It's the fastest car I've ever had at New Smyrna, and first win ever here. So this is badass, and I'm so stoked. Once again, back-to-back wins from late models to here. This is probably the best races I've had in a long ass time. So this is going to be a big one. I'm going to Waffle House after this.
Yeah, it was definitely a fantastic race, like I said before we got you in here, throughout the whole field. You know, obviously you started on the pole here for the restarts was a key to get you ahead, but Ace was right there. You know, he was pounding on you for a little bit. A couple times you would drive away, and then the late race cautions, we got, you know, last race winner Michael Johnson in there. You know, definitely put some pressure on you, so it wasn't as easy as you wanted it to be. You know, at the early part of the race, it was definitely a lot easier because you were able to ride off into the sunset. But then you had that 40 PSR machine beating on your back bumper there towards the end. Who do you gotta, you know, thank to get you really here? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure there's definitely a big group behind you.
Yeah, I gotta thank my family. They really had my back all the way, and the love of my life, Tabby. She's my rock, and she actually motivates me and everything. I was sweating bullets before the race even started, and she pretty much calmed me down and getting me to my senses. She's pretty much my head coach, my mascot, and also my manager, and I'm so happy for her to help me out. I gotta thank also 2 of my best friends. I gotta thank Jackson Hodge, and I gotta thank Carson Klingelhofer. Carson Klingelhofer really sat down with me for a long time to help me get this car set up for this week, for this race. But I got to thank Jackson, though. He is like my other rock. He's the one that's my ride or die when I need help, and I know if I called him, he'd help me. And right now, him hanging out with me yesterday kind of put a lot of relief on me to get to where I'm at right now. But also got to thank Grizzly Steel Structures, Nelson Roofing, Nelson's Design, Megawatt Electric, SP Tools, RYR Racing Engines, and Team 9 Motorsports. Team 9 Racing.
And we appreciate that, Patrick. That is my fault to Tabitha and Leslie in the chat. We apologize that you have your good trip to Waffle House, because you definitely had them smothered, covered, and diced tonight. Great win here tonight, Patrick McPeak. Patrick McPeak will go back-to-back with the late model win 2 weeks ago, and he'll win here tonight in the modifieds. Good luck tomorrow night in the late model stock, and hopefully you can go back-to-back there as well.
We're going to plan on it. And by the way, can I borrow $20 to get to Waffle House?
That's Patrick McPeak, driver of the number 61 WHELEN Modified. He'll win his first race of the season here, battling there with Michael Johnson, who we will bring in right now, driver of the number 40 Modified. Second place runner-up here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Michael, an absolute thriller. You put on a show. the heat race win 2 weeks ago, all the way here tonight at New Smyrna. Put the bumper to guys there in the closing laps. Kind of walk us through what you've seen out the front nose of this Pacematic number 40 modified.
I mean, just absolutely smooth, fast race car. PSR and Pacematic put me in a very consistent and fast car. I got jumbled up at the start of the race, so I fell back to like 8th, so I had to use some of my tires towards the beginning of the race, but I just gave it my all at the end and had to give my bumper to a few guys. I'm not gonna turn anybody, but I will use my front bumper. That's what it's there for. Especially at a track like this, it is very hard to pass here. So you got to use the bumper, but I appreciate the fast car that PSR has given me.
Yeah, you definitely had a fast car. Like I said, you got a little jumbled up about mid race there. Fell back to I think about 8th throughout the run. Kind of sat there really. It didn't really seem like you were in a hurry to get up to the front. Obviously, I know you want to be up there fighting for the win, but you kind of just took the smart route there, riding on the right rear, keeping it safe for the most part. Late rate restart, you were able to get a good jump there and get by the 72, nice and clean. Use a little bit of bumper, but it's short track racing. It happens, can't fault you on that. And came home P2. I thought you were gonna have it there, honestly, at the end. Not being biased at all, but the side by side, usually the bottom tends to be a little bit better. But I guess with all this rubber getting in on this track after 100 laps, Patrick was able to get by you on the top. But it was great racing throughout the field, honestly, with you. Great job tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, once I fell back, I kind of just told myself that I got 100 laps. It's a 100-lap race. Let's not wear out the right front. So I just kind of coasted, and then we got that mid-race caution, and that's kind of when I just hit it up in gear and started using my car and using what it had. But yeah, the bottom side towards the end of the race was just not good for passing. The top just had the momentum going for it, and that was probably because tires were being wore out and that you couldn't grip on the inside. But kudos to Patrick. He had a very good car, and it was a good race at the end.
And we appreciate you showing up here tonight, putting on another thriller inside of this number 40 modified, where, again, I agree with Neil. We've seen you drop back earlier, and about 20, 25, maybe 30 laps to go, really started to charge your way up through the field. An absolute great finish here tonight. You already got yourself, 2 heat race wins now on the year, plus the win 2 weeks ago at Lanier. So keep banging them out here, folks. This is your favorite driver, Michael Johnson, continuing to put on thriller after thriller. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I do want to just say one thing, Neil. I do apologize. The past 2 weeks, I have forgot that NR3 design, gave us this nice, very nice wrap for this car. So I just big shout out to NR3 Design. They're a big sponsor for us, so I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you coming on board with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, that'll be the number 40 of Michael Johnson. Make sure you go check out NR3 Designs on your screen currently at the moment at NR3_Designs on Instagram for all your paints, specs, maps, and custom number needs. We'll bring in the third place finisher here tonight, driver of the number 6 Me Fine Modified of Zach Evans. Zach from Princeton, North Carolina. Zach, you had a absolute strategic race is the word that I'll use about it. We've seen you drop way back to the back half of the field early in tonight's event. We're talking the early first 10, 15 laps or so. Kind of seen you do this before in previous seasons. Drop back, save a little bit of Hoosier rubber, and work your way up through the event late. If this race would have went 100 laps all the way green, how do you feel you would have had a chance here tonight?
Man, I don't know. I'll be honest, I dropped back further than I wanted to start with. They just got a little hairy there on the start, and just kind of backed out of it to avoid getting into anybody, and then nothing happened, so I was just kind of back there running slower than Neil's 602 mod for a little bit there at the start of the race. But we got it straightened out, and before the caution came out, we were running the same lap times as Patrick up front, but I'm sure he was riding as well, so I don't know if we would have been able to really close down that 6-second gap. I'm sure we would have passed a lot of those guys that were in front of us and had burned up stuff. I think the cautions helped to eliminate some of those gaps and try to get around guys on restarts. And obviously, a couple of them got tangled up in wrecks and stuff. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the P3. Definitely had a lot of speed there at the end of the race. Um, Probably, the top two were able to get away there while we were all trying to get around Ace into 72. But I mean, that's short track racing. That's his job. Obviously, he was one of the ones that used up a little bit more rubber. But you get down to the end of a race, he's got to defend. He's not got to pull over. So we were dealing with that, and ultimately, I was able to get around him there at the end and come home third, which I'm pretty happy about. I know in the point still it doesn't help a whole lot because I was third in points coming in. The two guys that were in front of me finished in front of me. So that is what it is, but pretty happy with another podium finish here in the number 6 Me-Fine M&D modified missile here.
Yeah, we always make the inside joke with you on the Booty Scoo broadcast is you're the tire guru guy. You know where you know when to use them, you know when to save them. Obviously, I watched up in the tower here. You did your typical strategy, drop back, let the right rear hold for a while. Slowly climbed, slowly fell back, got a little used up a couple times, but you were able to keep the tires on as always when you're a master at it. Don't want to toot your horn there, but you get pretty good at doing that. I know a lot of guys are trying to write that down in their notebook for the shop of what to do to be like this number 6 machine. But I kind of feel like we got you back here. We missed you. We like having the interviews with you. I feel like you're like Shawn Michaels. You got your smile back after tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I've really been enjoying this M&D this I-85 stuff. M&D's the team. I-85 is a series. I'm real smart. The results haven't really shown it on the late model side so far. I think we could have gotten an interview a couple of Tuesdays ago over at South Boston. Just the circumstances didn't work out, but we had the Folgers car hooked up in that one too. I really do think that, and hopefully we can catch a couple more breaks tomorrow night and talk to you again after however long we're racing at Five Flags tomorrow night. But no, this is what we're doing here is a lot of fun. I mean tonight was just some really good, hard-nosed but fair, clean, modified racing, and I've been telling people that's what this I-85 series is about. And I know last Tuesday was a little rough on the late model side, but this modified series has been 3 straight bangers to start the season, and I can't wait to see what we can keep in store going the rest of the way through the season.
And we appreciate that. That is the modified driver, the number 6 mustache of Zach Evans. The mustache continues to carry those tire-saving powers, so never get rid of it, Zach. A great performance here tonight from the number 6 modified of Zach Evans. He'll bring home the top 3 position here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll scoot down here to what's going to be our 4th place finisher here tonight. Driver of the number 03 from Denison, Texas, of Dylan Thomas, as Dylan Thomas steps in here into the booth. Dylan, again, another solid modified performance from you here tonight. The LA Coliseum, you lead 103 laps, don't get the trophy to take home to show for it. 2 weeks ago at Lanier, you had an absolute bad fast modified, and again here tonight, I don't think you ever left outside of the top 5, battling the Nerf bar there with Michael Johnson for majority part of tonight's event. Just kind of walk us through your race, what you've seen out the front windshield of that 03.
I was just trying to ride most of the race. I think I'm kind of starting to figure this out. The LA Coliseum was kind of a fluke. I ain't been in a modified a bunch, so I think I'm figuring it out, and it's just gonna keep getting better.
Yeah, great performance. I was kind of thinking that you were going to get closer, battling there with Patrick and Michael there towards the end. But obviously, you and the 72 got a little issues coming. LA Coliseums. Everyone kind of remembers that. Everyone was hashed out. But you guys seem to got the magnet on each other. You and the 72 there. But hard racing. Everyone's kind of just giving the bumpers when they need to. Other than that, though, great performance tonight. I think you got a little more speed than you think. I think you're hiding it on us. But we're gonna find out here in a couple of weeks when we get to the next race. Anyone here you got to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank M&D Motorsports, Me-Fine, and R3 Designs, Weekend Woodsman. I'm just trying to figure out this tire saving stuff that's new to me.
Dylan Thomas making his third start ever here in the I-85 Asphalt Series, and you bring home another top 5. So keep doing what you're doing, Dylan Thomas. The M&D Motorsports keep bringing you bad, fast modifieds. You'll be climbing the standings here in no time. We'll see you 2 weeks from now at the Oswego Speedway in New York.
Thank y'all for putting this on.
Yes, sir. That is the driver, the number 03 from Denison, Texas, of Dylan Thomas. We'll scoot down here to our final interview of the night, the top 5 finisher driver of the number 72 of Ace Throckmorton. Ace, as you come into the booth here, buddy, kind of want to walk us through your event here tonight. This number 72 definitely is going to need a little bit of cosmetic work at the end of it. The guys are beating and banging, using the Nerf bars all over this 72 tonight. Kind of walk us through what happened and what your strategy was for this Triple S Throckmorton Racing team coming into tonight's event.
So at the start of the race, me and Patrick were battling and kind of forgot to save tire and burn up my right front. And at the end, just tried to block to keep my position and got bumped around a few times, but it's all good heading into 5 flags tomorrow for the late models.
Yeah, obviously you hit the nail right on the head there. Burnt the right front up a little bit, which with the weird banking style here, coming off turn 4, you touch that wall a little bit. You tend to kill the right front a lot. You had great battling though. Obviously, you're gonna block. You're gonna fight your positions there at the end, which we love to see. Great battle in there. You held your own though. For even having that tire disadvantage, you were able to only really fall back to 5th, which better than most people. Solo team tonight though. Obviously a couple of you guys weren't here tonight, so hopefully we get to see them back tomorrow with the late model. But another great run, another top 5. That's all you really need. You need to just pull up these top 5s over and over again, and you'll, with the close points format, you'll probably climb yourself right back up to the top there.
Yeah, me and Smithy Speed Shop been putting in some work, testing, trying to get used to these cars. Me and the team, been working, trying to get used to these things and trying to get some more top 5s, maybe a win incoming in these tomorrow.
And that is the driver of the number 72 of Ace Throckmorton. Ace, I've still got you here. Is there anybody that you want to thank on top of this number 72 modified after you'll bring home a top 5 spot here tonight?
I like to thank my mom and my dad for helping me through this. Get used. Well, my dad buying my setup, and then Smithy Speed Shop for helping me get used to these cars, and then my team really, SS Throckmorton Racing.
And we appreciate it. That is the top 5 finisher here tonight. Driver, the number 72 RNS slate model from South Boston, Virginia of Ace Throckmorton. He'll bring home the top 5 spot here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for our post-race show here for the driver interviews. And Neil, the only word that I can really describe tonight's event is banger. Whether that was a banger race, banging Nerf bars, banging doors, or hopefully not banging fists down there in the garage after the conclusion of tonight's race.
There might be a couple down there. You never know. We'll have to maybe send the pit reporter down there with a camera. But other than that, I think it was great racing. This track's hard to pass. But with the low car count, we were able to get we almost had half the race there under green. So that's all we can ask for. But it was great battling throughout the whole field. Like I said at the beginning of the program, the battles for even 5th were amazing. Obviously, we were highlighting the battle for the lead, but those guys there battling in that top 5, they were beating the piss out of each other, but keeping it clean, making the moves, clearing them when they need to. It was great racing throughout the whole night.
It really was, and I feel like a couple of the changes coming into tonight's event, whether it was just recontrol of the race control in the restart zone, several different things that got changed coming into tonight's event really made for a much cleaner race. We've seen it on lap 1, turn number 4 coming off there. Guys got loose, got checked up. We were 4 wide, but they were able to hold on to the race cars and managed to save a lot of drivers' day. Just some great driving all around here tonight from the 13 modifieds we had on field.
Yeah, I think, obviously, some of the behind the scenes doesn't get, displayed a lot, but we came up with this new rule about the EOLs. Obviously, we know 3 EOLs and you're done for the night. But, we threw in tonight to try to stop the pile-in, which was always it's a major cause on sim racing. It just happens, the brakes don't work like a real-life car. So if you were involved in a wreck, you got an EOL. It didn't go towards your total unless you were the cause of the caution. Like you said, they were damn near wrecked off of 4, and everyone kind of got on the brake pedal. and cleared themselves. No one got any further damage, and we drove away. A couple other incidents, guys coming off of turn 4 later in the run, getting a little tangled, but they all saved it. No caution was thrown, so, it seems like we're working on some things. I know some things on the late model side need to be fixed a little bit, but other than that, I think our product is definitely top notch here.
Definitely starting to grow and get bigger. Patrick McPeak, Michael Johnson really threw on a banger there at the end of tonight's event. Some beating and banging, some actual bumping runs in the closing laps, and nobody went around. Just can't ask for any kind of better race, and hopefully we can get the same result tomorrow night for the late models.
Yeah, I hope so. I know the late models, the front bumpers are a little bit different than the modifieds, but a lot of netcode issues tend to happen with the modifieds, so we didn't really see that tonight. Tomorrow at Five Flags, a more spread out track, so we might not see as many battles throughout the field like we did tonight, but I'm pretty sure we'll put on some good racing tomorrow.
Definitely will be a good race here tomorrow night. We'll pull up the final results here on our screen, and we'll give you a little quick rundown how they finished out here tonight in Dash for Cash race number 3. Neil, I'll round out the top 7 drivers, and you can fill them out there from the way on back. Winning tonight's event here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, taking pretty much going to be all of the bonus points here tonight for the Mountain Area North Carolina driver, set on the pole, led all of the laps, and Patrick McPeak and his Team 9 Racing 61 will go to victory lane. Rounding out the second place position was the number 40, and Michael Johnson looking to go back-to-back here, but he'll fall one position short. The third place position belonged to the M&D Motorsports number 6 modified from Princeton, North Carolina of Zach Evans. Dylan Thomas from Denison, Texas continues his baffling career start here in the I-85 Asphalt Series for M&D Motorsports. He'll bring home the 4th place position. Ace Throckmorton will bring home the number 72 from South Boston, Virginia, in the top 5 position in the Triple S Throckmorton Racing 72. Chris Schaffner will bring home the Poncho McDowell High Point, North Carolina Racing Modified in the number 6th place position here tonight, followed up by the 7th place spot. 5 spots better than where he started. Trace Daniel will tie Zach Evans for the Hard Charger Award here tonight.
Yeah, rounding out P8, we got Adam Peeler in the Peeler Candy Apple Ale Machine. Beautiful race car, by the way. A little biased NR3 designs. 9th place, we got Dakota Pig Nataro. 10th place, rounding out the top 10, we got Josh Moore. Great. Hey, first top 10 for Josh Moore. Obviously, we didn't have as many cars, but, he's starting to learn a little bit. Didn't get into any issues, so good performance out of Josh tonight. P11, Aaron Evans in the 48 machine. P12, we got Nate Hall in the number 18 machine. And then rounding out the field of running cars, we have Mike Doyle in the 13th with Cody Klauser finishing 14th. Had to leave us early due to a mechanical failure on the steering box.
And we talked about that and covered it in the pre-race show before we took the green flag. Neil, just a heartbreaker day here. Cody Klauser will be rewarded the start part points, though, for at least hauling the trailer here to the racetrack tonight. Just a heartbreaker for the steering box column on the number 82 modified. So, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it here tonight at the New Smyrna Beach Speedway here in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Guys, we're absolutely packed out here early tonight. They're sunburnt, drunk, and wasted, Neil. Hopefully they applied the sunscreen that they needed. It was an action-packed show here. Can't wait to get the flight here tomorrow night to head over to the late model stock race live at the Five Flags Speedway. Without that being said, though, it was actually an awesome race here tonight.
Yeah, definitely awesome race. Obviously, we got a couple drunk guys here up on the fence. New Smyrna's got the bar at the halfway stand, so they're definitely feeding into them. We are going to have to take a flight because Pensacola is pretty far from this track. Same state, but, man, that's going to be a travel. Hopefully, we're going to have about 20-plus late models tomorrow for 100 laps at Five Flags. Hopefully, it's going to be a good one. I know we haven't been having some good races there. Good battles. We're definitely having good battles, but sometimes our finishes aren't as good as we want them to be. Hopefully we can clean this up and get a good performance for everyone.
We damn sure will. And ladies and gentlemen, looks like that is going to do it here tonight at the New Smyrna Beach Speedway. We'll pull up the remaining schedule one more time where we will head on over to the Oswego Speedway 2 weeks from now on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You can find it right here on the TikTok platform and post it over to the YouTube page. Then we'll head over to Southern National Raceway, Neil, where it's going to be one hell of a show, followed by the Concord Speedway, the Milwaukee Mile, Stafford, Langley, and we'll round out the season at the Richmond Raceway where these guys will be paid to the top 10 drivers in points. Neil, it's been one hell of a show here tonight. You got anything else you want to add?
Yeah, like I said, a huge shout out to these modified drivers. They've honestly have put on one of the best programs we've had on this platform. Huge credit to them, where credit is due. Uh, they're getting their money's worth, that's for sure. They're using those Nerf bars up. I don't know how much of a payout they're gonna have at the end of the year because all this cosmetic damage. But other than that, great racing. Great job by you in the broadcast as always, and I can't wait to get to tomorrow.
We appreciate that, Neil. Ladies and gentlemen, want to remind you to tune in tomorrow night, the late model stock division for the I-85 Asphalt Series. Their Dash for Cash makes a pit stop, no pun intended, for race number 3 at the Five Flags Speedway. You tune in Friday night for the Madness Racing League playoff race number 2 for the Truck Series, live at the Chicagoland Speedway. This is the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. I'm Mr. Booty Scoot in the booth as well with Neil Rutt III. If you've had yourself a virtual race here tonight from the new Smyrna Speedway, God bless.